your mental health tonight. Addicted to work. Recent research suggests putting in extra hours could actually be a warning sign. Here to talk about that is Dr. Michelle DeBlasi, a psychiatrist at Tufts Medical Center. Good to see you, doctor.
Hey, doctor, it's great to see you. So, we talk a lot about finding a work-life balance. So what and why do you think that's important?
So I think it's important for both your physical and your emotional well-being, actually. We know that people who are overworked actually have higher rates of heart attacks, of strokes. They have weakened immune systems, so they're not able to fight off infections as well. And the impact on our emotional health when we don't have good work-life balance is also pretty impactful. We can have difficulties with sleep, with eating, and that can lead to increased rates of anxiety disorders, depression, and even substance use disorders.
So, doctor, we know people who work really hard, but from your perspective, what's different about a so-called workaholic?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important for all of us, right, to have times in our life when we're working really hard. Maybe we're just trying to make ends meet or we're trying to achieve our goals. But the difference with a workaholic is they're actually addicted to working. And so work consumes them and defines them. And so as a result, they become sort of emotionally absent from family and friends. They're just not able to give back to people because they're just so consumed by their work. And because it sort of takes over their identity, they have a really hard time when they hit things like retirement or when they're not doing as well at work. They sort of completely fall apart because their whole identity is wrapped up in their work.
Well, and to that point, Dr. DeBlasi, we all know people who 40-hour work weeks, forget about it. 50, 65, 70, 80-hour work weeks, that's not uncommon. So let's talk about solutions. What's the first step?
So I think the first step is actually recognizing that you're a workaholic. Because a lot of times people who are workaholics have actually been given a lot of praise for this. People are telling them how great it is, what hard workers they are. And so they don't even realize how much damage it's having on their life. So the first step is recognizing it's a problem. And then once you recognize it's an issue, then it's deciding whether or not you want to change it. And if you have the motivation to put in the work to do so. So, setting up boundaries with your work hours, only checking work emails, at certain times, and spending more quality time with family and friends. And certainly if you want to learn more about why you've become a workaholic or you're having trouble figuring out how to change things, working with a therapist to sort of figure that out and see if you've been avoiding something in your life or what the issue is would be really helpful.
No.